When you come in, if there is a hype button, click that hype button. That allows more people to find us and learn these wonderful tips that we're about to go over. Let me know when you're here because we're going to be talking all things mica. We have a lot of different micas to talk about. I'm going to answer all your questions because there's been a lot of questions that I've gotten that I see in groups lately that deal with mica powder and the issues. So I want to discuss them. We're not doing a project per se today, but I want to talk about and clear up some factors about mica. And I'm laying everything out that I use with my mica powder. And you see I have different micas. I have some like this. I have some in a bag. I have some in big jars. Mica comes in all different colors, shapes, and sizes. And we're going to talk about what those sizes mean too. All right, so let's get started. First thing first, we have our regular micas. These we have no problem putting in resin, coloring, and using them. Hey! Yes, there are. And a lot of people are confused by it, especially when it comes to the neon powders, the glow in the dark powders, and what are the other ones? There's another one. What am I missing? Glow in the dark, the neon, and there's a whole other one I'm missing. But you'll know what I'm talking about. The ones that are really hard to break down, that always leave you lumpy and things like that. I have a super easy trick to take care of that problem for your mica powders that are hard to break down, that don't really mix very easily. Oh, flakes. I hate flakes. I'm not a fan of them. That's why I use my chameleon powders. I prefer the powder over the flakes. The flakes, you know, when you start putting them on silicone, they fly everywhere. It's just a huge mess. I avoid them. So if I can get it in a powder, I'm taking the powder because I don't like it flying everywhere. But let's talk first and get this out of the way. Okay? So I have my chrome powders here. You see it's in a little jar, right? And I've talked about this before, and some people agree with it, some people don't. But this will save you a lot of money if you do it like this. If it comes in a small jar like this, like our chameleon powders, they come in small jars too, right? And what is this? Oh, this is just the intense. And these come with little brushes. That's key too. If your powders come with a brush, do you know what that indicates? You should be brushing it on your mold, not mixing it in your resin to get the best effect. You can mix whatever you want in your resin. That's up to you. But to get the truest, best effect from that chameleon or the chrome, it's best to brush it directly on your silicone mold and use a dark color behind it. That's really going to make it pop and be vibrant, and you're going to see the best effect by doing that. You can mix it in your resin. You're not going to get the same effect that you will if you brush it on your silicone. So that's a big clue. If it's in a small jar and it comes with a brush, usually that means put it directly on your silicone to get the best effect. So I'm putting that back in there and closing this up. So we talked about that, okay? And I'll show you in a minute because I'm going to brush some of this on. But I want to talk about this other really quick before we get into showing you how I brush and do mine And really, it takes a very small amount of these powders to cover a large area. That's another good plus. But let's talk about these neon powders real quick. And it will be the same for your glow-in-the-dark powders too. See how bright that is? To get that intense color, they add special things. For the glow-in-the-dark, they add special things to the mica to get the effect. But I'm going to show you the best way to break this down so it blends easier in your resin is to put a little bit of alcohol. It's back. Less Resin has all of these. The neon, the glow in the dark. And there's another one that I'm slipping my mind right now that is also hard to break down. But anytime you have a mica that's hard to break down and mix into resin easy, that's if it's leaving you lumps and clumps and things like that, this is the best trick for any of it. This is my isopropyl alcohol. I have 99%, and I'm just putting a little bit in. Add a little more. Drop. Okay. So out. See that? There's no clumps or lumps or anything in there. It's all color now. So then what I do is I just take this and I pour it into resin. And that's it. It's that simple. I don't have to worry about having clumps in my mica or my project anymore. The alcohol breaks it down very easily. Then you pour it in your resin. It's going to easily combine. Super easy. Hey, doll. Glad you're here. We're talking everything mica today. And what I just went over is like neon powders are very hard to break down. Glow-in-the-dark powders are very hard to break down. Any mica that you have that leaves clumps there, oh yeah, it's a great trick. It works so well. All the lumps are gone. I don't have any lumps. Everything's combined. You can see. No lumps there at all. Clear liquid now. Okay. So then you take this, you pour it in your resin. No worries about having clumpy project when you pull it out. Okay. That's easily takes care of that. Okay, that's a great question. Super great question. The neon powders are just bright colors. They are just going to end up, that's going to be your final product. You see this hot pink? My resin's going to be hot pink. For your glow in the dark powders, you mix that in your resin. I don't brush my glow in the dark on my silicone. Glow in the dark, I strictly mix in my resin, and the glow in the dark is when you apply a UV light to it, a black light, and you take it in a dark room, your resin's going to glow. That is the difference between neon and glow in the dark. That was a great question. Oh yeah, Tamara, you'll be surprised the difference. It makes a world of difference. So any mica that you're having a problem with that's really leaving a lot of clumps or hard to mix in your resin, do that little trick. Make sure you're using 91% or higher. Whoop, just about had neon everywhere. 91% or higher isopropyl alcohol because you want that alcohol to evaporate off. That's the biggest thing. So let's talk about using these powders. I'm gonna use this brush that comes with it. And we're gonna pull out, I don't even know which one this is. Oh, you see that, y'all. See those colors? That's a chameleon. Have I even opened these yet? Oh, I have. Okay. So I want you to see, I am barely going to, there's very little on here. And I want you to see how much area just that tiny little bit will cover. And I'm just going to do one end of this with this powder. See how much coverage I get from just that little amount on that brush? You see that? It doesn't take very much at all. So there you can see, and you can see the chameleon. It changes colors when we tilt it from green to purple. I think there's some blue in there, but it doesn't take very much at all to color that, okay? So let's do chrome powder. Yeah, now this is the intense chameleon colors, which are, they have a deeper effect. Now we're going to do a chrome. Well, the chameleon powders don't fly everywhere. The flakes fly everywhere. When you brushing a flake on, it's flipping out here and there and flying in the air like it has wings. I don't like that. Now, I'm going to put this back because that's for my intense ones. And I have just makeup brushes that I use for my mica when I'm brushing it on. Very little amount on here. And watch how much coverage I'm going to get. Now you see the difference between these? This is a chrome. It's going to finish like a metal-like finish. So that's a chrome powder. I'll add a little more to this so you can really see how it looks like metal. You see that finish? It really looks like metal compared to the chameleon. And y'all, this is another thing people don't realize. Why I say I always keep baby wipes beside me. Say I went, well, you can see here on the side. It's on the side of this, and I don't want it on the side. So, these easily wipe up. I can crisp that edge. Do you see how I made it a straighter edge? Just by using a wipe. So if this goes into an area that I don't want, I simply use a wipe and straighten it out. Like here. Right? We can just straighten it out the way that we want it. I want a straight line here. There. See that? That's all you need is a wipe to do that. So that's another helpful hint there. Okay, so let's do, that was chrome. Let's have this little turtle. And I decorate him all the time. And I want to show you, we'll use this little makeup brush. I'm going to go in and brush him green. See how quick and easy that goes? See that? Super easy. So you get a lot of coverage. And there's still a lot left in this jar. So that's why I say, some people argue that these little jars, you can mix it in your resin, it doesn't matter. Well, you can mix it in your resin, but you're not going to get... Now look, this is just what's left on my brush. And look at that. See that? And that's just what was left on the brush. So, I'm telling y'all, it doesn't take very much mica at all to get this done. And then I clean my makeup brush off on a baby wipe. Look at that green still coming off. And I'm ready for my next color. So it's super easy. I just brush my makeup brushes on a wipe. And it's ready to go. Now, that's the specialty powders. Let's talk about regular regular mica powders. So these are from my regular mica powders, and these come in these little tubes. Other mica powders can come in a plastic Ziploc pouch. They can come in the big jars. This is a paste, but mica can come in a jar this size too. If it comes in a bigger container, then you know that really is meant to be mixed in with your resin. That's an easy way to tell the difference. If it's in a small jar, paint it on your silicone. If it's in a bigger jar, mix it in your resin. Okay? Let's do... I'm going to let that be some ocean. And I'm going to do this like a seascape. Okay? And this is just regular mica. And I can tell y'all that Let's Resin is really good about not having a lot of clumping and things like that. Now, see the difference between those two. It's just a blue color. I could mix this in my resin, I'll get that same blue color, same intensity, everything. Nothing's going to change if I mix it. Do like a little ocean scene. Dark to shallower water. This green. Right? And then we have, this is an interference, a ghost powder. So, oh, that was the other thing. There is an issue with some of the interference powders that are hard to break down. Let's Resins, not so much. I haven't had an issue with theirs. These come in their regular mica sets. And what is a ghost powder? A ghost powder, and you're going to see this very easily. There's a lot. Like I said, it doesn't take a lot. Add some over here. Alright. A ghost powder looks white, right? But it gives you the tint of whatever color is on there. This one is green. So you see it has a green tint to it. Now, if you put this powder in black resin, oh my gosh, y'all, it's like Northern Lights. Have you seen those? That greenish, beautiful, this is a green ghost. There's a blue ghost, pink, violet. There's different colors that you can get. And if you get the Let's Resin, um, and look, that's just leftover from what I had in here. So, like I said, it goes a long way. But if you put this in black, this interference or ghost, it's going to give you the beautiful effect. And this is what I use. Y'all remember me doing my opal effect? Do you remember that? Where I did it with white resin and a white shimmer. You can do both. You can do both. This is one you can brush. Any mica, you can brush or mix. If it's a regular mica, you can use it either way. Okay? The neon, I don't suggest brushing. Yes. These ghost or interference colors are best in a dark color, or best used with a dark background because it really pops off of that. When you mix this into a black resin, you're going to be amazed at the difference. You can mix multiple colors in there. If you want to streak some pink and some blues and some greens and just pour that like a galaxy, or use the green in a black for some northern lights, you could do that too. You could use it with a white to get like an opal effect where you'll get a hint of the greens and the pinks and the purples and the blues. In fact, I have an opal effect video that I did showing you how to use these colors with a white background, and I think I included some of my iridescent sheeting as well to create opal coasters that have that effect. So that's what you're going to get with the ghost. It's going to give you, it's like a sneak. The color like sneaks in when you least expect it. It's really beautiful. So I suggest, Tamara, mix up some black resin and pick one of your ghost powders, a blue or a green, a pink, violet, whatever you have. Just put one color in and just put just a little scoop on a stick. Just put a little scoop in with your black and watch. When you start stirring that around, you're going to be amazed. You're going to fall in love because it's beautiful. I love it. So y'all, that really is what I wanted to cover. The biggest thing I see a lot of is people having a very hard time breaking down or getting lumps, and they complain that when it cures there's lumping in there and you can see the lumps and it looks horrible. This is the trick to resolve that problem. So if you have a mica that doesn't want to break down easier, that's leaving lumps in your projects, put a little isopropyl alcohol and then a little cup on the side, mix it all up. It's going to dissolve all of the mica so you don't have that lumping issue anymore. And then just pour this color into your resin and you're done. So I really hope this helped you guys. Oh, before I do that, it is a new month. So let's give some memberships away. Almost forgot that. There we go. Ta-da! If you got a membership, let's see, who do we have? We have some fun people. Okay. If you didn't get one and you want to join the membership, because I'm doing another drawing. Remember, Tamara won our first one, and we did her project. I'm going to be pulling another one this weekend. So if you want to join to become a member, click the join button, follow the instructions. I think it's like $4 or $5 a month. That helps support me and the channel because I'm not sponsored by anybody. Everything that I use, I pay for out of my pocket. So I appreciate any support that we get. I love our members. I want to do something special. Like I said, I'm going to start doing those drawings for our members. Um, so they get to choose the color palette, what project we're going to do, and it's going to be their choice. So then the next live that I do, we'll be doing what they chose. So make sure that you click the join, you get in on all the fun. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. That doesn't cost anything, and that allows beginners and everybody else looking for answers to find our channel to hopefully find the answers that they've been looking for. But you guys know I love you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Make sure on your way out you give this a thumbs up. That's another way that tells YouTube, oh, this is a good video. People should watch it. That's free. It doesn't cost anything either. But you guys, that's all I have for this one. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Success in your art projects. Let me know if you're going to try this. And let me know, was there something that you learned today that you did not know? Leave us a comment and let me know what it is. If you're rewatching this, put in comments rewatch crew. That lets me know other people are seeing this outside of our live. Next week we'll be live at 6 p.m. Make sure you mark your calendars, and I will see you then. Until next time, y'all, happy arting. Ta-ta for now.